Welcome to episode 2 of the Uncommon Edge. This week's episode is about the myth of motivation and the power of discipline. The myth of motivation and the power of discipline. We're going to be destroying the lie that men need to feel it before they do it. We're teaching that true builders live by conviction rather than convenience. Ooh, buddy. This one is about to get heavy. So, let's get to it.
Welcome to The Uncommon Edge, the podcast for men who are built different. I'm your host, Matthew Gurney, and this is where we sharpen the edge in business, in fatherhood, in faith, and in life. If you're tired of watered-down leadership, empty motivation, and surface-level hustle culture, you're in the right place. Let's knock off the rust, sharpen our edge, and forge our metal together.
Welcome back to The Uncommon Edge, the podcast for men who build what others won't dare to. I'm your host, Matthew Gurney, and today we're coming after one of the most dangerous lies holding men back from becoming who they're called to be. This episode might punch you in the gut a little, but hopefully it'll also wake you up. In this episode, we're going to be addressing the lie of motivation. See, we've been sold this idea that motivation is fuel for movement. But that's soft. That's untrue. If you're waiting to feel inspired before you act, you've already lost. See, we have this Monday morning motivation culture. We wake up on Monday and we're hard after it. We get all of our tasks done. We do all the things that we're supposed to do and committed to do. But come Wednesday, come hump day, we start to coast. We let off the gas. We need something else to inspire us. We need something to get us through the rest of the day and rest of the week so we can cruise and relax on Saturday and Sunday. And then we wonder why, whenever we look out at these people that are extremely efficient, these people that seem to have it all together and are well-to-do, and we wonder why that is. And it's because these people don't take their foot off the gas. Truly, they see other people that take their foot off the gas and they jam it harder. They put the thing to the metal because they don't want to lose ground. It's not that they're unmotivated, but it's they're desperate to fulfill their conviction. See, this morning was actually a pretty difficult morning for me to get up. I had the opportunity to be able to take my family out of town for a week and just spend some time with them. Some time alone, some intimate time with my wife and my children. Just building memories together. Something that, unfortunately, I don't get a lot of opportunity to do just because of workload and different obligations in my life between my wife and myself. And then obviously just raising a small family. You know, it's not every day that you can pack up and travel and go stay in a hotel and go to events and theme parks and spend the money out to be able to do all of those things. So whenever I get an opportunity to do so, I really like to do that. I go all in. It's a time for me to relax, recuperate, but it's also a very special time between my family and I that we get to just spend together, that we get to reminisce a little over those moments of other opportunities to vacation and spend time with one another. My wife and I get to build our relationship even stronger. I get to just love on my children and speak life into them and have opportunity to play with them that's unhindered by a workload or unhindered by, a time limit because I have to go do something else. But this morning, waking up at 5 a.m. after having driven the 8 hour, well, technically 4 hour, but 8 hour drive over the last 2 days to get back home. We get home late, finish up a couple of things that I had to, got to bed late, and just being back in my house, didn't sleep super well last night, and woke up at 5 a.m. to get my day started. Had 2 jobs going, an hour and 15 minutes apart from each other that I'm PMing. And so I needed to be on site at 7 o'clock in the morning, which meant I left my house at 5:30. It's 100 plus degrees outside today. On a roof, you're 150 degrees. It's just one of those days that I really could have just said no. I have competent, capable crews. I have guys that are able to lead those crews. My suppliers do their job really well. Things were in order. I could have just stayed in bed, stayed in the AC, stayed in the fan, cuddled my wife longer, said good morning to my children, woke up, had breakfast with them. All those things are good things. I'm not discrediting that. But what I'm trying to tell you is that I made a decision this morning. There is a conviction that I need to be on site. It is my company. I'm the face of that company. So whenever I introduce my crew to my clients, they understand that these are my guys, that I'm taking responsibility for everything. So to have been in bed underneath the covers in the AC with my wife, like every one of my crew members probably would have been had they, either been married, but either way, been in bed still, because it's one of those days. It's just hot. It's awful. But what example am I setting for them? So instead, I got up, 4.5 hours of sleep, got my clothes on, stopped and got some fuel, headed to the job site, got those guys started, headed to my other job site. I have a little bit of an opportunity right now at lunchtime to actually sit and to do this podcast. But guys, if it's only by motivation, then what are we going to do? I was not motivated to get out of bed this morning, but I had conviction that I needed to be the first one on site, and I was. I was there before my guys even showed up. I needed to set the standard, guys, because I had people looking to me, not only our client, but also our crew, my children. They woke up this morning, Daddy was gone. Daddy didn't get to spend time eating breakfast with them, but Mama told him where Daddy was. That Daddy got up this morning and went to work to provide for them, for Mama, for others even. See, with what I do, I, on the sales side of things, provide for other families. My installers, they have families. My suppliers, they have families. So if I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do, other things fall down. It's just not me with the repercussions. I'm responsible, whether immediately or second-handedly, for the livelihood and income of other people. So there was a responsibility, but there was conviction for me to get out of bed. See, sometimes we have to just show up broken. Sometimes we have to wake up early whenever we didn't get much sleep. Sometimes we have to launch something scared. Sometimes we have to take risk even whenever we can't see it entirely. Guys, we're not men that just live in the mundane. We're not men that live, if you're expecting an easy life, a happy-go-lucky, this probably isn't for you either. Because, guys, this isn't easy. It's not easy to have discipline. It's not easy to do the things that you say you're going to do. There are people that have made it look easy because they have just set in their mind that they're going to do it. But it's not always easy to do so. Also, guys, builders live by discipline. Discipline is what men who build legacies live by. Not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. So showing up even whenever it's hard or boring or invisible. Guys, that's the other thing. Showing up and fulfilling conviction even whenever there's no notoriety. Whenever nobody else sees it. Guys, it's easy to be motivated whenever you're in front of a crowd. It's easy to be motivated whenever you stand up and you give a presentation and everybody cheers and tells you how good of a speaker you are, how good of a businessman you are, how good of a whatever. It's really easy whenever you get a pat on the back. It's not so easy whenever you're doing it hidden. Whenever you're doing it just because you're supposed to be doing it. And no one else sees it. Because, guys, discipline isn't about perfection. It's about direction. Guys, we don't have to show up and be perfect every single day. That's exhausting. And anybody that you see that's doing that, more than likely it's a facade. More than likely there's so much pressure being put on them. Guys, it's not about perfection, it's about direction. Which direction are we heading? Are we going backwards or are we moving forward? Are we taking back ground? Because, guys, that's exactly what this podcast is for. It's for the men that just seem like they've lost a little bit of the mojo. They just can't quite do what they've promised themselves to do. For some reason, there's always something. There's always something that sets them back. There's always something that they revert to. There's always something that's a crutch. There's always something that keeps them from being what they're supposed to be. Because men settle. Most men don't lack ability. They lack clarity. And they lack the grit to get it done. See, we have this comfort addiction. Passivity steals potential. It steals it. It's a robber of your potential. Guys, if all you want to be is comfortable, you're not going to get the things that you're thinking about. The vision isn't going to be fulfilled. Because comfort breeds passivity. And passivity steals potential. Understand that. Comprehend that. Let that settle in for a minute. Like I said in the previous podcast, it's really easy for me whenever I get home to just take a load off, take a break. I've had a difficult day. Today's going to be one of those days that I don't get home until probably 8, 9 o'clock, just because of the workload today, because of appointments, because of the builds going. It's just going to be a really long day. But guys, I know the moment I get home, my children are going to want to see me and they're going to want to play. My oldest especially, he's going to want to wrestle. He's going to want to even maybe play Madden or Forza or something with his daddy. My youngest the same way. My little girl, she's going to want tickles. She's going to want to be played with. She's going to want to play Tea Party or with her dolly or whatever. They're going to expect me to show up for them. Guys, whenever it comes to diet, man, it's a lot easier for me to go through that drive-thru. It's extremely time-consuming to meal prep. It's extremely time-consuming for me to stop and actually sit down at a restaurant that's going to serve good meat and veggies and produce. There's a lot of excuse that I can make. But in reality, guys, I crave comfort. Our flesh craves comfort. We don't want things to be difficult. Who of us wishes upon ourselves difficulties and hardship? If you raised your hand, I would say good for you. Because I've noticed in my life that the hardest times are the ones that I grow the most. Now, I'm not wishing this upon myself or others. Don't get this wrong. What I'm saying, though, is whenever I'm out of my comfort zone is whenever I grow the most. Whenever I first decided to launch my business and to go all in years ago with the first business I started, as a young man with a new family, just married my wife, I had a part-time income off of my first business, and I decided that that was going to be our sole income, and I decided to go all in and actually build that company. Guys, it took me out of my comfort level. I was used to kind of doing whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted, but I'm married now. I have a kid now. There's expectation now. It's not just about me anymore. Guys, whenever it gets hard, a lot of lessons are learned. Don't shirk away from difficulty and hardship. It's what forges a man. It's what helps us grow, fellas. See, we have this comfort addiction. We don't want things to get hard. But guys, things are going to get hard. I don't care who you are. I don't care where you come from. Something's going to happen in your life that's difficult. And if you're so used to comfort, it's going to knock you off kilter. You're not going to be able to overcome it. And then you're going to take years trying to overcome it. Unresolved pain becomes a reason to escape instead of build, guys. There's a lot of us that hold some baggage that maybe our wives don't know, our friends don't know. We're men. We keep those things tied to the chest. We've been told that nobody's coming to save us, that no one cares. I beg to differ. See, I don't share everything with my wife, but I share some pretty deep, personal, intimate things with my wife because she's my help. I know that she cares about me. And maybe you don't have somebody like that. Maybe you don't have a father. Maybe you don't have a mother. Maybe you don't have a best friend. Maybe you don't have somebody that's near and dear to you that you know you can trust with sharing your heart. And even that, you hear that and you're like, man, that makes me kind of cringe. Share my heart? What does that mean? Guys, unresolved pain and trauma gives us a reason to escape. How many of you blame your addiction on trauma? How many of you blame where you're at in life on something that happened earlier in life? How many of you blame your hardship on other people? Man, that's the biggest one that I see in today's age, is men just want to blame other people. Guys, get over it. Seriously. It's not going to help you fix it. You can blame whoever you want for as long as you want, but obviously they're not going to help you. And you complaining about it all the time isn't going to help you. And then you telling people about it all the time isn't going to help you. Because in reality, men like me, whenever I hear that, there is compassion, there's empathy. But then I'm like, dude, fix it. Stop telling me about it and do something about it. Do something. Move in a direction. Either let it go or move. Because that unresolved pain becomes somewhere we escape to. Whether it's drug addiction, food addiction, porn addiction, spending addictions. Guys, how many of you go out and buy tools or go out and buy trucks or go out and buy clothes or whatever, fill in the blank, whenever you're feeling a little down, whenever you're feeling a little depressed? How many of you, whenever you just absolutely blow it, that the conviction that you really do have settled in your heart, that you don't want to pass over this line, you don't want to cross over that line, and then you do, How many of you just throw in the towel? Like, oh, I failed. Might as well just keep blowing this thing up. I've watched it. I've watched it in my own life. I've watched it in the life of other people. That whenever we fail, it's like, oh, shoot, I've just destroyed everything I worked for. So might as well just give up on it. Throw in the towel. Who cares? Woe is me. And then we just make an absolute mess of it. Guys, that's what happens. And then we excuse it. We justify it. We say, oh, well, if so-and-so didn't say such and such, or if I wasn't in this place, or, if this didn't happen to me, stop it. Stop making excuses for why you're not where you are, or where you should be, I mean. Stop making excuses. Guys, and I know this is hard talk, but it's necessary talk. We need it. We need somebody to stand up and say, no, like as men, we're not doing this anymore. We're going to do something different. Our families deserve different. Our friends deserve different. Our employers deserve different. Our employees deserve different. Those that are expecting of us deserve differently of us. Guys, you weren't made to drift. You're made to drive. Don't ask my son, because you'll say, drifting is driving, Dad. But you understand what I mean. This isn't willy-nilly. This isn't happenstance, guys. You've been given a gift. Life is a gift. I don't know where you all stand, and I haven't said much about it on this podcast, and I don't necessarily intend to. Now, I may have some speakers that talk about it, but for me, I'm unashamedly a Christian. So it changes my worldview a little. The way that I perceive things, I do it through a biblical stance. So for me, I believe that life isn't just happenstance. It just isn't circumstantial. It isn't like, oh, you're here for 70 years and then you're gone. Guys, there's purpose here. You've been given life. And if you start to look at life that way, you've been given life. Guys, and I know that some of you have had a really hard go of it. Like I said, man, I'm empathetic. And I am sorry. If you've never heard that before in your life, I am sorry that you've had to face some of the things you've had to face. I'm sorry. But guys, stop allowing it to define you like this. Allow it to change you for the better. Life is beautiful. Life is a gift. Stop just throwing it away like it's meaningless and has no point. You weren't made to just drift through life. Guys, we only have so much time on this earth. We only have so much time with our kids. We only have so much time with our wives and our parents and our friends. We only have so much time to influence others. We only have so much time to love. Guys, and I know that's difficult for some men. But man, just think about if you get a hold of that for a second. And you genuinely love, how it would change our culture. The big, tough, burly men with grit are loving their wife and their children. They're loving their neighbors. They're caring about other people over themselves. Guys, life's hard enough. Let's not give it its ammo. Let's look it in the face and say, I'm going to live you to the fullest. every single day whenever I wake up, not just on Monday, but on Friday and Saturday and Sunday. I am going to go full throttle because I have absolutely no idea when this is going to end. Guys, if you want motivation, that's your motivation, is that you really have no idea whenever you're going to take your last breath. So what are you doing about it? Fellas, we need to become men of discipline. You gotta identify your non-negotiables. You gotta identify your non-negotiables in faith and family and finances and your fitness and your whatever, fill in the blank. You gotta identify them and then stand on them. Stop giving place for your emotions, for your feelings, for your hardships. Stop giving place for those things. Say, no, I've drawn a line in the sand, and we're not moving any differently than what I've placed here. I know that came out kind of busted, but you understand what I mean. Like, this is the line in the sand. I know what I'm going to do. Like I said, I'm unashamedly a Christian. That's my conviction. I know it. I'm settled. I'm going to live in such a way of those convictions. My family comes second only behind that. Behind following Jesus is my family. They're next. Guys, if I'm with them, they have priority. I don't care who you are. You can be the president of the United States. You could be whatever. My family has priority. That's the line in the sand. My finances, guys, I'm still figuring it out. I have a lot of really intelligent people in my ear. I've listened to a lot of really intelligent people. But honestly, I'm still figuring that stuff out. We've done very well in business. We've done very well on taking care of some bills and past debts and things in our early 20s and our teens even. But guys, it's one of those things that I know what I want. So maybe it's even setting a direction and not budging from that. Your fitness, guys, I don't want to be 80 pounds overweight. So what do I do about it? I need a diet. I need a regimen. I need to stick to it. I need to stop fudging the lines. I need to stop saying I'll start tomorrow, or I'll start Monday, or I'll start this day. I need to just do it. Just do it. You need to just do it. Like, stop giving yourself an out. Stop it. Because it's not going to work for you. You're always going to find an excuse. Next thing you got to do is own your mornings. You got to win the first 90 minutes of your day. You have to set yourself up for success. Stop hitting the snooze button. Stop getting up in the morning and drinking really heavy, carbed, sugared drinks. Stop waking up in the morning and going directly to social media. Spend some time getting your stuff together in the mornings. Guys, front load your mornings. If you work out in the mornings and that's the time you want to work out, that's the time to do it. Check your bank account. Guys, one of the principles that I've learned from other people is check your bank account. Where are you at? It's either a really good reminder. Either way, it's probably a really good reminder. But it's a really good reminder that you need to go out and work. But either way, guys, check your accounts. Stay off of social media for a while. Unless maybe that's exactly where you make your money. I understand that. But give yourself some time. Get up, take a cold shower, do a workout, drink some water, eat something healthy, give your body fuel, take your vitamins. Spend some time in meditation, our prayer, our Bible reading, our devotion reading, our self-help book reading. Whatever you choose, but spend the first 90 minutes getting your day in order. Get your calendar in order. Get everything scheduled that needs to be scheduled, that should have been scheduled the night before, the couple days before. But make sure everything's in line, that you know what you're doing for the day and make a game plan. That way you're not making decisions on the fly. That way you have a solid course of action. Then finish one thing this week. Pick something off the to-do list. Guys, inaction breeds anxiety. You know you have to do it, but you don't do it. And then you wonder why you're anxious. Maybe it's that proposal. Maybe it's that letter. Maybe it's that to-do list off the honey-do list. Fill in the blank again, guys. I want this to be all-inclusive. So put this into your situation. But you know exactly what I mean. Inaction breeds anxiety. You don't do it, you're anxious. You turn in bed. You don't get good sleep. The next morning you wake up, you're defeated already because you haven't gotten your 90 minutes in, because you overslept, because you hit your snooze. So you rush around, you need caffeine, so you get that heavy carbonated or heavy carb, high sugar drinks. You just eat like garbage because you want to fly through the day, because you have to make up ground that you shouldn't have had. But you decided not to front load your day. Guys, whenever you get home, you're not going to work. I'm telling you from experience. Most of you are probably better than me. But I'm telling you from my own experience. That's the reason why I can say these things. That's the reason why I have a podcast. I have experienced these things. Front load your day. You're not going to work whenever you get home. At least you're not going to want to. And you're not going to be as efficient as you would either. Lastly, find accountability. Guys, if this is it, if the podcast is it, I hope I'm a help to you. But it's going to miss the mark. You need someone. Preferably somebody your own age, but hopefully somebody older that's been there and more experienced. That'll actually speak the truth to you. That won't sugarcoat things. That won't try to not hurt your feelings. You need one of those friends that are raw, that are going to tell you exactly like it is. You need that. Because, guys, we need accountability. Doing this alone is really difficult. The other thing with this too, guys, is your friend group. I have to say it because it's just the truth. If you have the wrong friend group that is going in the wrong direction, that isn't seeking after the same things you're seeking, guys, it's probably a good time to change it. Be alone for a minute, even. Stop worrying about having to go to the bar and all of this with your friends. Stop worrying about having to take the same trips and look the same way, buy the same shoes and fit in. Guys, we're adults. We're men. Make your own path. Stop it. If you're in your 20s and 30s and 40s and you're still trying to dress like everybody else and you're still trying to go to the bar and pick up chicks and you're still trying to whatever, stop it. Grow up. Be a man. Stop. Stop. Find accountability. That means finding good friends. Guys, pay money to get in the room with men and women that are doing better than you. And then become friends with them. Offer value to them. Don't just be a taker. Don't just be somebody that goes in and all they do whenever they communicate is take, take, take. Honestly, it's exhausting. People that have been there and done that, they want you to ask questions. They do. But also bring them value. Because, guys, I've found in my life that whenever I'm a genuine human and whenever I actually care about people, I start to form relationships. And I form relationships with people that are just frankly doing better than me. But I search out and I seek out things and ways to help them. It's not just me taking the whole time. It's how can I be a helping hand to you? Guys, college is found in a room full of people that have already been there. And I'm not saying not to go to college if you're younger and listening to this. It's not what I mean. But what I'm saying is the school of hard knocks has made quite a few more millionaires than community college. I know I'm going to get flack for that, but it's just the truth. I've sat in the rooms. I've talked to the people. Find accountability. Get in rooms. All right, guys. What's the point of this? Motivation fades. Discipline builds kingdoms. You say, well, that's high and lofty. Isn't that what we want? Don't we want more? Don't we want to build something more? Stop thinking so small. Because discipline is what builds kingdoms. You don't need another pep talk from me. That's not what this is. I'm trying to give you practical advice on how to do this. I need practical advice. Every day, I need to wake up and be reminded. Like I said, it would have been easy for me to stay in bed. You need a plan and a reason that's bigger than your feelings. So what are you going to build this week? And who are you becoming as you build it? That's the question. Let's get to it. Thank you guys for listening to episode number 2 of The Uncommon Edge. Please, 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 if you would, share this with a brother. Share this with a friend. Share it with your dad. Share it with a sibling. Share it with a cousin, an uncle, a teammate, coworker. Share this. Men need to hear these things. And then remember, average men wait to feel it. Uncommon men do it anyways. So stay sharp, stay bold, and stay uncommon.